What's going on, guys? I'm going to be breaking down UFC St. Louis today. Quick little recap from last weekend's card. Had a solid night, man. Plus 3.5 units on official tracked bets. Did do a little bit better unofficially. Cashed on Joanderson Burrito. Max bet that by fight time. I just didn't get what Shore was going to do there. I thought he's not at the right weight class, and physicality was just unmatched. Cashed pretty big on Jose Aldo. Man, great performance from Aldo, man. Had that Lucindo Burrito parlay, had your card close. Did well on props too. We hit on Michelle Pereira submission plus 400, and then we hit on Borralho KO. We got on that pretty early, plus 285.2 units, and we put another 0.3 units on, was it plus 235? Did have a few misses too, mostly moneyline dogs. We missed on Elvis Brenner, half unit, and then Borjas moneyline. But man, solid card. That's a couple cards in a row now, getting some momentum going. So let's keep that rolling into this card. First fight of the night is Veronica Hardy and JJ Aldrich. I'll be honest, I have not been able to tape this one yet. But from a market perspective, Veronica has never been a minus 140 favorite in the UFC. She was a dog in her last two fights, and I know she's made a ton of improvements, but I think she was minus 125 in her UFC debut. Other than that, man, she's been primarily a dog. So JJ Aldrich is a step up. I don't think JJ's some world beater, but she's technically sound, relatively good boxing. She's solid everywhere, man. She's fought a ton of girls. We know where she's at. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like now, yes, Veronica's improved, but we're now kind of paying a premium at minus 140 against a better girl. She was a massive dog to Juliana Miller, and she was a big dog to Jamie Lynn Horth. And I know maybe those prices were wrong, but now we have to pay the price, near 60%. So I'm passing on this fight. Next fight up is Kevin Jousset versus Jared Gooden. I think this is a Kevin Jousset spot, but I wasn't sold on him after his first performance in the UFC against Felipe Corrales, and he surprised me in the Kenan Song performance. Like, he actually had a ton of great volume there. He's got some judo in his back pocket. My only thing with him, I don't know what it is. I feel like he's just a little stiff, a little wooden. I don't love watching. I don't know. He's not my favorite striker. I mean, he's a good minute winner here, and he will be the better minute winner over Jared Gooden. Gooden is probably KO or bust here. I mean, possibly submission after that Wellington Turban performance. But overall, I do think Jousset is a deserving favorite. I would probably be closer to like minus 185, 200. I just don't think I have an edge on the current line, even though I think he's winning the fight. So for me, man, just a pass. Next fight up is Jake Hadley and Charles Johnson. This one was a tough one at first glance. So on one side, you have Charles Johnson, who typically has been defending 20 takedowns per fight in the UFC. Just like, he's always defensively wrestling. He picks it up late. My problem with Charles Johnson is he just early on, like, he can fall behind in fights. In the Maxim fight, he got clipped early. And I feel like pre-fight money line, I mean, I bet Hadley over Cody Durden, and that's why I'm kind of like not betting this until I see weigh-ins or just see where this line goes, because obviously Hadley is massive for the weight class. I mean, I don't know how the fuck he makes 125, but I do think, physicality goes to Hadley, finishing upside goes to Hadley. There's a theoretical grappling upside if he can get offensive wrestling going. He hasn't had to offensively wrestle much in the UFC. I mean, it's mostly guys taking him down, and then he'll be playing, jiu-jitsu with them, scrambling a bit. I like Hadley's skills. I like his boxing. But Johnson's a dog, so I kind of just want to see, like I said, I think finishing upside, physicality, and just the grappling would be there for Hadley. And CJ just starts slow, man. Starts slow in some of these fights. And just picks it up. I mean, round 3, CJ is just a dog. But I don't know. I'm leaning Hadley here, but I got to see him at weigh-ins. I'm not betting him again. Then he's a shit cut and gasses out. I'm just not trying to do that with Jake Hadley again. So next fight up, we got Trey Waters and Billy Goff. I do have a bet here. I bet Trey Waters at minus 140, minus 162. Overall, I had to watch the tape twice on Billy Goff. I mean, it's fun to watch, but I don't like guys that have to, come back in fights, rely on his chin and toughen shit out. I mean, defensively, this guy is like pretty irresponsible. I mean, I like his pressure, I like the pace. He can break people, but I mean, look, he gets clipped. I've seen him dropped in every other fight on the regionals. He gets countered. He throws naked leg kicks. He'll throw off balance shot off. Like he'll throw it off. I seen him throw like off balance hooks. He's like on like 1 foot, completely off balanced. He's very easy to hit straight punches on. Like the jabs there. I've seen him counter with rights. Like pretty big right hands, and then the head kicks too. I don't think Trey Waters has a great head kick, but the head kicks are there all day on Billy. And look, man, he's tough. He pushes through. Like he'll try to make this fight dirty. I just think for Trey, you got a 6'5" guy. He's gonna have a 7-inch height, 5-inch reach, and then also for Trey, this is the shortest guy he's ever fought in his pro career. 5'10" is not big for welterweight. Billy Goff is a 5'10" welterweight, guys. Buckley is a 5'10" welterweight, and you see his build. So I mean, I like Billy. I just always thought, when I first came across him, I was just kind of thought maybe this guy like just seems like a lightweight. I mean, he's put on some size. He's definitely not like, a pushover by any means, but him getting into range here is going to be difficult when he is already very susceptible to be countered by straight punches. I think Trey has all the tools here to keep this at range, jab him up, land that 1-2, that big right hand. And we saw too, so for Trey, I've had a hard time getting a good read on him early on, like LFA, like Contender Series. So you watch the Gabriel Bonfim fight, and I know people aren't as high on Bonfim as, whatever. He lost a fight. It happens. But Bonfim's a great submission guy. Obviously, he got the Von Flute there. But I think his hand speed's legit, man. I like Bonfim's hand speed early in fights. He's quick, man. And he was bringing it to Trey, and Trey, he was probably down a little bit, but man, he did okay there. He was throwing back fine. I've seen Trey rolls with punches well. I've seen him eat big shots. He ate a head kick in that Jalen Fuller fight, and was able to push through. Saw him that Bennett fight's a weird look for Trey, and was a bit concerning in terms of so Billy Goff obviously is going to make this dirty, try to wrestle, try to get him along the cage. And was it Benjamin Bennett was his name in LFA, did find some success, just grinding it out, pushing Trey against the cage. But also in that fight, he was at elevation, and it's in Colorado, and Trey was gassed the fuck out, man. Gassed out, pushed through well. Don't really love, the ref got too involved there, and Trey did end up finding a knockout. But I liked his performance over Quinlan, and Quinlan too, he's another guy that kind of relies on landing that shot, and I think similar to that fight, it's just going to be hard for Billy to get in range. And yeah, he can make this dirty and have some success at some points, but overall, man, I think Trey is just so much more of a cleaner striker. He's going to have a massive height, massive reach. He's great. He's looking to counter, man. Like that whole Jalen Fuller fight, I didn't love that performance for Trey because he wasn't winning minutes, but he's just sitting there waiting for that opening. And when he lets that right hand go, man, I don't know if he knocks Billy out. Billy's tough. I do think Billy gets dropped here at a high clip, but he's tough, man. He's a fucking dog. He got submitted twice in amateurs. And he won't tap, man. He'll go on a shield. But nah, man, I think Trey has all the tools here to win the better minutes, land the better shots. Look, Billy's tough. He can get greasy, but I think Trey, I like his skills a lot more than Billy, man. And I think Billy's a knockout waiting to happen. So next fight up, we got Tisha Torres and Tabitha Ricci. No bet here for me. On one side, I think, look, Tisha Torres or Tisha Pennington coming off 2-year layoff. I actually bet her against Mackenzie Dern. I thought she clearly won that fight, but it's concerning. 2 years is a lot, man. 2 years is a lot. And Tabitha has been active. She's been improving. She's a great athlete. She's quick. I'm not sold on her striking. And that's where I'm like having a tough time with this fight. I really am not sold on Tabitha striking. I like Baby Shark's activity. She does a lot. It's not that clean. And man, Tisha's tough. I just don't know where she's at, how she can deal with some of the like Tabitha's a great athlete, man. She's quick. She may have upside for some wrestling here, some grappling. It's not the easiest task to hold Tisha down, but like I said, I don't know where she's at. So right now I'm leaning Tabitha, but I'm not getting there for a money line side either way. Next fight up, we got Esteban Ribovics versus Terrence McKinney. It's a good scrap, man. I really wanted to bet Esteban Ribovics here because theoretically he has way more upside to look massive favorite. Esteban, if he can survive the first few minutes, can look minus 300, minus 400 even here, technically speaking. He's shown a great chin. He's got great cardio. Good boxing. He does start a little slow in fights, and that's kind of my worry. That's why I'm not betting Esteban. Even though the lines came down, man, he was up at like minus 200 at one point. So, yeah, 190, 200 he was, minus 210. So, the lines come back a bit. It's a tough fight because obviously Terrence is just he's so dangerous those first few minutes of a fight. I feel like the takedowns are there. I just don't know if he submits them. Like we saw that Kamala Kirk performance, like round one, man. He had his back for 3.5 minutes, and Kirk's a very legit black belt, and he couldn't lock it in, and it was close. It was close. Maybe Terrence can get it. It just Esteban's very calm in there, very calm. There's a reason why this guy's never been finished. He's tough, man. He's tough. Definitely can pick it up late. I do worry too, so I thought about Esteban round 2, round 3 props. Mainly round 2, like hitting that one heavier. But why can't he chin McKinney in round 1? like Terrence has their major durability concerns, and there's a world where he pushes an absurd pace these first 2 minutes, hurts Esteban or gets close to getting him out of there, gasses himself out, or just gets hurt on the feet in round 1. So I don't even feel that confident because Esteban round 2 is like plus 375 right now. I saw on Bowl, and that's like kind of paying a premium to fade McKinney there on a round prop. So maybe I want to do some more tape. It's not honestly tape on Terrence. It's so easy to watch his tape. It takes a couple minutes, but I'm gonna watch more on Esteban. I just have this weird feeling that that McKinney gets it done in round 1 here. So it's tough. I've been back and forth in this one. I really am having a hard time here. So next fight up is Vyacheslav Borshev versus Chase Hooper. I'm pretty familiar with Slava. I've been betting him since his UFC debut. Cashed him there over Dakota Bush. Bet him against Mark Diakiese, and then learned my lesson, and then bet Mike Davis in the next fight. Vyacheslav, he definitely has shown some improvements in his takedown defense at ATT, but overall the guy does not have great hips. He comes from like a kickboxing background, and he's a little lost on the ground. And that's where this fight is just hard to cap, because Hooper, if he gets it there, he's got a massive edge, massive gap on the ground here. But Hooper doesn't have great wrestling, and we haven't seen him really make that much improvements in his wrestling. It's tough. It's a tough fight to cap. It's really binary. Both guys can look massive favorite. The way that I played it, which is a little weird and it's a bit square, but Vyacheslav Borshev moneyline minus 135, 1.5 units. And then I have a half unit on Chase Hooper submission plus 375. Thinking about it more, I'm not sure if I love it as much. Pretty much we're fading Hooper knockout or decision, and the more I think about it, the KO could be live if he gets it there. But if Slava wins, I win 0.6 units. If Hooper gets a submission, I win 0.4 units. I lean that Slava knocks him out in round 1. But I'm worried because if he gets down, man, like the get-ups that Slava used against Nazim, there's 3 there that I watched. One of them ended in north-south. Like, if Chase Hooper's in north-south, he's getting the submission, he's getting the back, and he's locking it in. I bet Mike Davis submission plus 2,500 over Natan Levy. I do think if Hooper's in any of those positions, it's very live. So it's binary. I don't think he gets it down, but if it hits the mat, man, like it's probably a wrap. So give me Slava by knockout early, but I'm playing both sides here. Let's see. It should be a good scrap regardless. Next fight, we got Robles Despaigne and Waldo Cortez Acosta. I bet this one a bit back. We got minus 135 or 145 Robles. Either way, 1.3 units on an early Robles Despaigne. I want to say it's like maybe minus 145. We got a good number. But what it came down to for me is, will Waldo like put together a good game plan here? Will he try to get it along the cage, work in some wrestling? No, he's not going to do that. He's going to try to, you know, show off his footwork and box with them probably. And if he does, I think he's getting knocked out. Say what you want about Robles' competition. The guy clearly has death touch. I don't think Miles Banks is terrible. I mean, it's a low-level guy, but he's probably better than like Austin Lane. And Robles landed a right hand, like right hook at maybe like 65-75% and just dead, man. Then the Parisian fight, we saw him off balance, land a shot. Just, man, this guy's got some crazy power. Pretty quick too. Massive reach advantage here. He seems like just a great athlete overall. Ton of question marks, so I wouldn't play him at the current line, man. Minus 220, minus 240, whatever it is now, it's a lot. It's a lot. Because we really don't know what it looks like. But man, I think he gets it done here early. I'm not big on Waldo. I don't think he is that powerful with his strikes. I know he can land some okay shots, but overall, he's primarily winning minus EV decisions. I think he's going to strike with them, and I think Robles can find the chin. So just takes one shot, man. Minus 135, minus 145. I just had to play that number. So Robles to Spain money line, probably round 1 KO. There is some crazy numbers out there on the round 2 if you think he gets there. Next fight up, we got Sean Woodson and Alex Caceres. I do have a bet here as well. I bet Alex Caceres money line for 0.6 units. It's tough because I really like Sean Woodson's game, man. He is a massive featherweight. It's crazy that the 6'4" dude is a featherweight. Great volume, great boxing. Love the straight shots. Does so well at switching stance and hiding his punches, man. He's so clean. Love Sean Woodson's boxing. But I don't get why he's minus 220 here. So let's go back. I know Woodson's really good, man. I know he's a good minute winner. But this is his toughest test to date. I still remember when Joey Rosa on 4 days' notice, busted everyone's parlays, minus 500, Sean Woodson. Looked great early, even dropped Joey Rosa there. But just pressure, just ate the jabs, walked him down. He's fucking shouting like juice at him. It was such a fun fight, man. I watched that one a few times now, but we've seen him lose before. We've seen him lose at massive favorite prices. And he's coming off, look, yeah, he beats Bazooka. He beats some lower-level guys, Anglin. He's coming off a great performance over Jourdain. I don't know why that was a split decision. But he's a big underdog there. And now you're stepping up in competition to versus Alex Caceres, who, yes, he's had some recent losses to Sadiq Youssef and Giga Chikadze, but man, he's fighting close with them, man. Alex Caceres had the better hands in the Sadiq fight. That's why I bet Diego Lopez. I'm not that, Caceres has bad hands and oh shit, but in that fight, Sadiq was losing early, man. The better shots are being landed by Caceres with his hands. And Sadiq had to rely on his leg kicks just to chop him down, win some late minutes there, but all on leg kicks, man. Caceres is his movement's really, really good, man. Love his footwork, love the head movement. He's kind of like slimy along the cage. You think you got him somewhere, and he's out. He's moving. I do think he's susceptible to straight punches sometimes when he comes into range, but he's good on the back foot. He's good on the front foot. I think his movement is really clean. And look at the Giga fight. He wins round one. Another one, man, where he's working his kicks, but his hands have looked better. And Giga landed the power shots in round 2, round 3 to really put that fight away. But it's still, like, on volume, it's very close. This is a step up for Woodson. This is the toughest test of his career to date. And I feel like Caceres has the grappling upside. I personally think he may be, it's tough. I know Woodson was going through stuff and that's held down a fight, and like that's maybe why the performance was what it was, but I feel like the chin may be even better on Caceres, durability. Grappling, if it gets there, and he's not going to be, you can't single leg Sean Woodson. It's too long for that. But the back takes of Caceres, it's interesting here. I like his movement, I like his kicks. I just don't think Woodson separates enough to justify a minus 220 favorite. So I'm not that passionate on it, but I gotta play Caceres at this price, man. He has a movement. He has a movement, I think, to make this more competitive. He's not going to stand here like Dennis Bazooka and try to like box with Sean Woodson. He's a very high level guy. He's been around. Man, I like Caceres, man. I like his game. He's solid in all aspects here, and I think he's just a little more well-rounded than Woodson, who's going to rely on just landing that 1-2s, just high volume punches. He'll throw some kicks here and there too, but he's mostly just scoring, and then moments can sway in the other guy's side because he's not like separating that much on minutes. So give me a shot on Alex Caceres here. Next fight up, we got Mateus Rebecki, I say Rebecki, that's what I call him, versus Carlos Diego Ferreira. I bet Rebecki early here, minus 250 for 2 units. And I'm not even going to give that much deep of a breakdown. I don't think CDF is who he once was. And he's a great fighter. But I feel like you look at that Michael Johnson performance, I don't know, man. I feel like he's declining, and Rebecki's not the kind of guy that you want to be on the decline against. He is a bulldozer, man. On the feet, he's not the biggest, height-wise and reach guy for lightweight, but he's just a bulldozer, man. Absolute unit. We saw the leg kicks in Loic fight. He's got good wrestling. I do worry I think on the feet, he's just quicker, better, more explosive, more dynamic. Decent leg kick upside. I think he's much better on the feet here if he plays out striking. I do worry if he tries to take, like, CDF can grapple, man. This guy's a high-level black belt, so I do worry if it gets to the ground. But I think Rebecki here, I don't know about minus 400, but yeah, minus 250, man. Give me that all day. Overall, I think he has him covered. The only worry is the ground, and then possibly if Rebecki gasses, but I just don't see if he's gassed. I can only imagine how Fierro's Carlos is feeling at that time. So give me Rebecki here, probably round 2, maybe round 3, just attritional, just wearing him down, man. So like Rebecki here in this spot. Next fight up, we got Alonzo Menifield and Carlos Ulberg. This one's really tough, man. I don't think Carlos Ulberg's 75% here. And yes, he is the better minute winner. He's going to have probably a more likelihood to knock out Menifield, but like I don't know what it is, man. I don't think Ulberg, his performance in his last fight really justifies to me him being another priced at 75%. Sure, if he knocks him out in round 1, it will look great in hindsight, but I feel like this is a step up for Ulberg. He's still relatively, yes, he's a better minute winner because he has good volume, better kicks, more well-balanced game, but Menifield is dangerous, man. He's very dangerous, and I feel like I feel like plus 450 Menifield knockout. I gotta tape it more. I'll be honest with you. I didn't go deep into this one, but right now in a striking fight, Carlos Ulberg 75% because he has better volume and like a more well balanced game. I mean, yeah, he's a minute winner, but man, it just takes one. This light heavyweight, we saw it last week. Just I can't believe I missed out on the Petrino fade. I bet Pedro round one props against Vitor Petrino, and I'm so upset at myself that I just thought, Smith is just too washed to put money on anymore, and I passed. But these light heavyweights, man, these prospects, I just don't know if they're always justifying these 75%, 80%, 85% price tags in a very volatile division where shit just happens. So I'm eyeing Menifield, man. I probably won't get to money line, but man, some of these KO props, if they're pricing plus 500 on the KO, some of these round props may be juicy, so probably keep it small. Next fight up is Nascimento Ruzi versus Joaquin Buckley. I do have a bet here on Ruzi plus 145 for 1.2 units. It's not an easy fight to cap. I feel like it's a really volatile one. Don't love that he's cutting down to 170 after being 185 a month ago. But he has done this before, years ago, probably not with good resources. So if he was to do it, he's training with the right people in Philly to do it, properly, or at least do it better. So we don't know what his cardio is. There's a ton of question marks on this guy. But what I do know is he's pretty dangerous, man. The shots that I like here for him, so I get that Buckley's had looked really good at welterweight, but my concern for him here is, one, we've seen Buckley's chin checked a few times. Holland landed that straight right all day, man. He was like, a few times his mouthpiece came flying out. Saw Alexio Di Turchio land that head kick on him. Curtis caught a kick, put him out with the left hand. Imavov had some really great moments early in that fight. I just feel like Buckley sometimes, yes, he has a long reach, but the way that he closes distance against these taller fighters, and we saw that middleweight too, we're seeing even now at welterweight he uses it a lot. When Buckley comes in, yes, he's moving his head a lot laterally, side to side, which is good. But what I don't like when he comes exploding in is he starts winging very wide hooks. He'll throw. I talked about it in that Luque breakdown extensively. Against Maroney, he even does it. He comes exploding in, moving side to side laterally, and he throws like 4 wide hooks. I think that rear uppercut here, the check left hooks of Ruzi, he's got some okay kicks. I just prefer his hands, honestly, over his kicking game. I don't love... Look, he's not getting a Kimura on Buckley. And Buckley's got some good double legs. I just feel like I don't think he shoots here at a heavy clip. Maybe he does. Like we've seen Ruzi taken down. But the grappling, I lean Ruzi there. The guy, yes, he has a ton of Kimuras, but he has other submissions as well. He is really long. Yes, Buckley is too, but Buckley's not the greatest grappler. I think Ruzi will be a better grappler in that sense, not pure wrestling. But on the feet, though, like I said, I do think Buckley, he's been looking better at winning minutes. He's managing cardio well. If this extends, I think this may be Buckley's fight. I have a strong feeling he's going to get chinned here early. I know Ruzi coming off an eye poke finish, but man, this guy looks dangerous. He's dynamic. I think, like I mentioned, the uppercut, that right hand, he's sitting there cocked, waiting to fire that, man. He's patient with that right hand. I think he's going to clip Buckley on the way in. I don't know if I would play this current plus 110. This is where I lined it. I lined a minus 130 Buckley. I think at this point, man, I think Ruzi KO is value. I think it's a lot more likely than the submission. What are they pricing his submission at? Yeah, man, it's not that far off price in some of these books. Like, I just feel like, yeah, man, the KO is a lot more likely than the submission here, in my opinion. I mean, we never know, but give me Ruzi here. It's not the most confident take, but in a fight that I deem is like so volatile, I don't want to be laying chalk on Buckley. And I know I've been betting Buckley a lot, but before the Luque fight, who was his best win, man? Like Alex Morono, Fiallo, Duraev was a good performance. Alisson, split decision. Jordan Wright, knockout over Impa. It's not like Buckley's out here with the best record, ever either, man. He has some really good losses, but give me Ruzi here at plus money. I think plus money here either way is the side. Like if Buckley was a dog, I'd be playing Buckley, but just how it's lined, man, I got to take a shot there. Little bit of unknowns, but we'll take a shot on the volatility on the plus money. Finally, guys, we got the main event. Derek Lewis and Rodrigo Nascimento. Haven't gone that deep on tape here. I don't really need to tape Derek Lewis. I know what we're getting. I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't play Derek Lewis money line here, just because I made it a rule a long time ago to only play him at plus money. He's a hard guy to, yes, I think he wins here. I think he finds a knockout, but Lewis at 60% in fights just like scares me. So personally, I bet him Dawkins. That was a nice cash plus 140. And I bet him at the Lima fight too. That you want to bet Lewis. Me personally, I think you want to bet Lewis money lines and KO props when everyone's counting him out. Like those are the times you want to, after Lewis loses a few fights, that's when you want to bet him. Just because he's not a good minute winner. Most guys with a grappling upside or good volume, are just they're gonna win, even okay volume, you'll win minutes against him. It's just he's relying on the KO. I do think he finds it here, so I'm playing Derek Lewis round 2. I do think Nascimento can at least survive the first round, maybe working some grappling here possibly. And then if he does, I just feel like at the start of the rounds, start of round 2, I'd be really worried if you're backing Nascimento here, even if it goes late, man. Every moment at distance, he's just always live. Lewis can always find the KO. So give me Lewis round 2 plus 575.2 units. Not a passionate take, but we're just playing a number there. That is it, man. That is the full card breakdown for UFC St. Louis. Good bit of bets, man. I'm sure I'll add some more as I do more research. Next week's card, I'll be honest, guys, I'm going to be away. I'll be in Greece for a bit the next 2 weeks. I'm not sure I'll have a video up for next week's card. I don't really love it. I'll be at 302 in Newark, so I'll definitely be getting a video up for that one. I'm probably just going to start taping that. So best of luck this weekend, guys. If you like the video, please subscribe, comment. Trying to hit the algorithm a little bit. So guys, if you like the content, please show some love. Appreciate you guys.